Hello everyone, and let's do a quick book talk for The Strength in Our Scars. This was written by Bianca... I have no idea how to say the last name, so I'm just going to say Bianca. It was written by Bianca. This, on Goodreads, it does have 11,713 ratings with a 4.06 average. This is a nonfiction. It is classified as poetry, self-help. I don't know if I would classify it as self-help. Mental health, yes. Personal development, okay. Health, spirituality, fine. Inspirational, yes. Poetry, absolutely. This is a book of poems, and I wrote down 2 poems that particularly stood out to me, but we'll come to those later. I took screenshots of others, but I've since deleted those because I forgot that I hadn't done the review yet. But to tell you 2 of them, or 2 lines from 2 poems, I think is pretty good. This is a short book. It was only 150 pages. Now, this was published in 2018. I read this via Everand on ebook format through Everand. There was also an audiobook available, but I could not, with Everand, listen to the audiobook and read along at the same time. So I chose to read only. Okay, now the audiobook was, if you choose to go the route, if the audiobook is still on Everand, the audiobook is 2 hours and 10 minutes, and it is narrated by Rachel L. Jacobs. It was published in 2018. Again, it's just a collection of poetry, and it is nonfiction, so it's all about the following, which is going to, for some people, could be your representation. Nonfiction, I wouldn't say there's really any representation. That's my own personal opinion, so this could be stuff that you're looking for as far as like maybe mental health being represented in the whole book versus, you know, something about race, unless I don't know, representation as far as like characters, no, but as far as the content, yes. I kind of hope that makes sense. Anyway, so this, depending on your POV, this could be content or trigger warnings, or it could be representation as far as what you're looking for in poetry. So we have talking about growth, about self-growth and development, things like that. Talk about your scars when you go through life and just your emotional, maybe even physical scars that occur. Talks about loss, so loss of people that you loved. Moving on from loss, moving on from different stages of your life. Another thing is talk of being yourself and allowing yourself that freedom to be yourself. Talks about hurt and pain, loving yourself, letting things go, healing, being alone. So those are some of the things that I was able to pick out. With this being a collection of poetry and only 150 pages, there's really not much I can say. So I am going to read a little bit of the synopsis, because all I can say is this is just a collection of poetry. What this book really means is, I, in my opinion, is going to be up to your interpretation. I think that's a lot of the stuff with poetry. The synopsis can give you a brief idea of what it's about, but I think with just knowing some of the things that's in it, growth, loss, pain, scars, being yourself, letting go, loving yourself, healing, being alone, allowing yourself to be alone, that it's not such a bad thing, that those things are good to know going into it. But sometimes it's comprised a little bit better in a description. It says, no matter what you're going through, no matter where you are on your healing journey, you are strong. Through poetry, prose, and compassionate encouragement you would expect from someone who knows exactly what you're working through, Bianca is here with words you need. So it's just words of encouragement to get through loss, allowing yourself to adapt and let go, and things like that. I personally gave this 4 stars. I thought it was really good. And yeah, so I am very glad that I read this, and this does make me want to pick up more poetry. Poetry is not the thing I generally reach for, but I do enjoy most of it when I pick it up. I do struggle with the more classic and thicker stuff, but this is more light, and I think more people would appreciate these depending on what you're going through in your life, and more people will understand what is trying to be said in the poetry. So with that being said, that's your content and your trigger warnings and any representation you might be looking for in a collection of poetry. As far as the word usage, you have the word damn 6 times, hell 3, the word God twice, not in a religious context, and fuck twice. So not, in my opinion, not bad on the words. Now here are two things that did stood out. This will give you a taste of this poetry to see if this is something you want to pick up. It says, so the first one I've written down is, you are the one who built your walls. Don't ever doubt for a second that you have the capacity to tear them down. And then the second one that I wrote down is, the things that hurt you may have left scars, but they did not destroy you. You survived, and there is hope in that. So that gives you a taste of kind of what the poetry is about. I do highly recommend this one. I don't know, I just think this would be really great for a lot of people to read, especially if you've gone through a lot of stuff, with most, if not everyone has. So I do highly recommend this book. So let me know, have you read this? Now, Bianca does have other works out, so let me tell you some of the stuff that she has out. She has another one called A Gentle Reminder. There's something called Seeds Planted in Concrete, The Art of Letting Go, and those are the only other ones that I'm showing. So I'm going to read the author synopsis from Goodreads. It says, Bianca is a writer from Toronto, Ontario, who aims to write honestly about the beauty that arises from the contrasts of life, from love and loss to joy and regret, which that's pretty much what this book is, The Strength in Our Scars. Continuing on, she has dedicated herself to turning the human condition into poetry. And I think Bianca did a fabulous job with that, and I do highly recommend this. Poetry, nonfiction in general, but most nonfiction poetry is kind of hard to describe what it is about other than just certain key words. So I hope that helped. And please let me know if you have read this book or have read another book by Bianca, and what your thoughts are. Is poetry your thing, or is this not going to be for you? Definitely let me know. Talk to me in the comment section below. And until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book, and I will talk to you later.